What's going on, everyone? I'm Jeff Harris alongside Jonah Restuccio, and welcome into the Delmarva Sports Insider.
It's the only show giving you in-depth analysis to all local sports here on the shore.
That's right, Jonah, and saying we have a lot in store tonight would be a bit of an understatement. We're going to jump right in. They're here in studio waiting to take the desk. Members of the James M. Bennett volleyball team join us live in studio just minutes away.
And you won't want to miss that, but also coming up in just a bit, it was a Saturday afternoon filled with college basketball here on the shore as the Salisbury men and women hosted back-to-back games against Penn State Harrisburg. We have those highlights in just a bit.
And not only college action this weekend, the Delaware high school basketball season kicked off last night. We have sights and sounds from a jam-packed, no pun intended there,
I like it.
night of high school hoops. Welcome into DSI. Now, Jonah, a lot of football this weekend, specifically Smyrna, who entered their 2017 campaign fresh off an undefeated season and a state title. That's how they capped it off. Now, this season, a little bit of a different story. They opened with back-to-back losses, the first of which came at the hands of Middletown.
A rival.
And that's who they would face off with tonight. It's a state playoff weekend in Delaware. Smyrna took on Middletown for the Division I title. Middletown would fumble the opening kickoff, resulting in a Will Knight touchdown.
Who else?
He forces his way into the end zone, courtesy of the Wildcat, as Smyrna takes the 8-0 lead. Then, just before the half, Middletown QB Drew Fry finds Nicholas Johnston for the 6-yard score. Smyrna would head into the locker room, leading 8-7 at the half. The Eagles would open the second half sloppy. They fumble the opening kickoff, and you see what happens.
Beautiful
Fry
pass.
hits Esias Guthrie from 35 yards out. That score gives the Cavaliers their first lead of the game. Next possession, Isaiah Wilson gonna fumble, and Jonathan Smith, look at this, gonna catch and score. He takes it 38 yards the other way. Cavs take a 20-8 lead with less than 5 minutes to play in the third. Smyrna back in control. Knight gonna throw a jump pass. It's like basketball
jack
season.
Of all trades.
Hits Stephen Whaley for the 41-yard touchdown. Eagles would trail 20-14 heading into the fourth, but following a Middletown punt, Knight, who else, finds the end zone from 9 yards out.
Future home.
Eagles retake the lead. Because he's going to the University of Delaware next year. But who else would seal the deal, Jonah? Really, honestly,
I don't know.
We're saying it a lot. That's 80 yards to the house for Will Knight. Smyrna comes from 12 points down late in the third quarter to avenge their Week 1 loss to Middletown and go on to win their third straight title, 30-27.
We just had a relentless mindset of we are not losing. We are going to come out on top in this game, and that's they fought blood, sweat, and tears to make it happen for the seniors.
It's crazy. You look at the crowd and you just see red, and you know that the community's got your back, and we harp every day on having each other's back. It's a familiar feeling, and we love it. We love every bit of it. It feels good. They beat us in a scrimmage last year when we beat them in the chip again. We always preach like we win when it matters. We may mess up in the early in the season, but we just work every single day to get to where we're at, and this is why it pays off.
Well, congrats to Smyrna going back to back, something super impressive for a team that's done so much, and especially in Will Knight's senior season.
Will Knight in his senior season going to the University of Delaware. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
Foreshadowing.
Playing in his future home. Yeah, foreshadowing. It's ironic that they're playing up there.
Exactly.
But great way to kind of cap their season, back-to-back losses to open things up. Not the average start to the season, the norm for them, but
it's
glad
weird
to see. Congrats to the Eagles.
And Jeff, while we're talking about the state tournament, that's not the only game going on. Delmar and Milford, they're going at it in the Division II title game right now. The game started a little late, about half hour later than expected, but we have those first quarter highlights up from UD, Milford and Delmar. They bring in, look at this. They bring in their props that they run out with. You have the banner, and then Milford, they bring up their blow-up Buccaneer, which I didn't think was able to travel, but super impressive. Really getting into it. Two Henlopen conference foes. Nothing like a ceremonial coin toss before. Delmar, they would choose to receive, and what a great choice it was. Fourth play from scrimmage. Who else but Tashawn Denard? He goes 59 yards to the house. This man, Jeff, you said it. He's been a touchdown machine.
9 touchdowns last 2
tournament.
games.
Wildcats up 7-0 early. Milford there on the attack now. Tyone Matthews. He's going to see his receiver streaking. He's going to charge that one up and just heave it up there, and not even close. Not enough mustard. Picked off by Dylan Pasta. Now, Delmar, they would have the 7-0 lead as our sports director, Trayvon Miles. He's up in Newark right now and has more from UD.
as you can see, a large contingency of Del Mar fans here on the campus of the University of Delaware. There's a lot going on right now. The Wildcats actually have a 7-0 lead on the Milford Buccaneers right now. We just saw Tayshawn Denard picking up where he left off from last week. He had a hot game last week, of course, with 8 touchdowns in that state semifinal game. Tonight he already has one, that one from 59 yards out. Right now, Del Mar trying to get something else going. They had an interception, got them all the way down to the red zone to Milford's, but they weren't able to convert that touchdown. Now we're going to step out of the competition, or step out of the way a little bit, and look and see what we got going on. We got Milford right now looking to get a first down here, it looks like. Milford has not done a great job moving the ball. Of course, David Bowman, their star, has been doing a great job. We got a pass here. Here we go. Now we got some action. As you see, Milford all the way down into the red zone. How about that? It's about a 60-yard play for the Buccaneers, and they look like they might be able to maybe tie this game up with about a minute left to play in the first quarter right now. As I said, we'll have all the highlights back here at tonight at 10 and 11. Make sure you keep it here from University of Delaware. I'm Trayvon Miles. Back to you guys in the studio for DSI.
Thank you, Trey. Could not have been cooler. And after he sent that back to us, Milford, they would punch that in.
Right.
So the score now stands at 7-7. And Jeff, let's just talk about Tayshawn Denard really quick. You said it, 9 touchdowns in the last 2 games, 8 in one game.
8 in one game against AI DuPont last week in a semifinal matchup. So I'm sure that's some type of record.
It has to be.
Then another one from 59 yards out in this one. So that's 9 touchdowns.
He's not messing around.
Between the last 2 games. And they also have this guy named Brooks Parker who had 1,500 yards and 22 touchdowns in the regular season. So, I mean, it doesn't matter who they hand the ball off.
Talk about a dynamic backfield.
2,500 yards this season, over 40 touchdowns.
You are Mr. Del Mar. Do you think that they pulled this one off?
I mean, you covered Milford, I covered Del Mar. To say we didn't have a little friendly wager in the back would be lying, but it's fine. I do think Del Mar, though, is going to pull it out.
You heard it here first. Jeff thinks Del Mar, I think Milford, but we're going to hit a break. But coming up after that break, as promised, the James M. Bennett volleyball team makes their DSI debut in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
My name is William Knight, Smyrna running back, and you're watching Del Mar Sports Insider.